We're both mathematicians, but I can walk into an ELA class and tell you if students are learning or not. Because learning comes from good teaching.
Absolutely.
In fact, kids aren't learning. You're not teaching if kids aren't learning.
Absolutely. Vernita. What's up?
What's up, KiMi?
Come on, Pink.
Pretty in pink.
Come on, Pink.
I'm liking your stripe. I see you, pinstripe.
You see him?
Pinstripe. Did you show your shoes? You know you show your shoes every episode.
Oh, you know these are some.
Your shoes match my shirt.
J-Tips in the building.
It matched my
We
shirt.
love black designers.
Yes.
Shoe designers.
Those
Black
are
shoe
nice.
designers.
All right,
J-Tips. J-Tips.
Forever.
I'll check them out. J-Tips.
Nice.
J-Tips, now if you're watching, please send me some shoes. Send me some shoes, Jay.
You can't.
Please.
Can we do that?
Yes, please.
I don't know what we can do. I need rules, Tommy. I don't know what we can say, what we can't say. We need some rules.
Let Tommy do his
right.
job. Tommy
got a
is
job.
making sure we look good, we sound good.
We do.
are good.
We good.
You good?
Yeah, this episode what? 00.
Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Four.
You did
Four.
not take
Four.
Spanish 2.
4.
Did you take Spanish 2?
Spanish 1. Come on, Spanish 2.
Say Spanish 3 in Spanish.
So now I'm gonna tell you. When I start getting to the higher levels, here's where it got real tricky. Spanish 1 was good.
It got tricky. Tell me.
Spanish 1 was good.
Yes.
Spanish 2, our teacher looked at us and said, everything in Spanish. The minute you walk in the door. Ooh, lady, I won't be walking through this door no more.
You put your hands like this.
So I did 1, 2, and then I got to 3.
Okay.
I was killing it.
Did you do Spanish 3?
The problem was I did, and I did it. And I got out of it. The problem was when I got to college, I didn't have anybody to speak it to, which is very different than my god sister, who her neighbors were a Latinx family, and they're a beautiful family, and so every day after school, she got to actually.
I don't think that was the problem. I don't think the problem was college. I'm feeling like your problem was way before college. But no, I'm with you. Go ahead with the rest.
I knew my days of the week. I knew my months.
That's
I knew my numbers.
Spanish 3.
I knew how to ask questions. Preguntas. Like I know little stuff.
Done. Okay.
I know my stuff here and there.
That's not what we're doing today. That's not what we're doing.
When me and Mom went to Cuba, Mom was like, you had it in high school. Mom was like, you had it in high school. You good? And I was like,
we need a dictionary, please.
We gonna need a whole lot of stuff, cause
Donde el baño? You know where the bathroom
is.
is.
In trouble.
And the
I don't even like Google Translator because sometimes they be fucking up.
Bro. So you got to Spanish 2. You went by to school for Spanish 3.
You trying to
no, I heard that you said 3.
I did go to 3.
What'd you get? What grade? I hope you're listening, Mike. Did you get it?
You know, it's so long ago.
You go. I know.
Remember?
Listen, I went through Spanish 4 because I was Mr. Sierra's favorita. That's what he told me.
Say something. Say it. Say something. Flex. Tommy right here. And Tommy and Hasmin can check it. Say something.
You don't know.
Say it.
What do you want me to say?
I don't know anything and make it sound good.
Me llamo Vernita.
Oh, Tommy, shit. She said 3 words. 3 words.
What are we talking about today? KiMi? What we?
I want to ask you how your weekend was, because now.
Oh, you got my text.
I thought I left you for the weekend. Like, you going to do your thing. I'm going to go do my thing.
I did.
And we good. I just figured, hey, I'm not going to hear from her for a little bit. It's the weekend. And I'm having dinner with some homies.
Yeah.
Drinks are flowing.
Having a good time.
I'm watching the game.
And I send the SOS.
And I saw your SOS.
Yes.
SOS text message.
Yes.
But I saw like this small little plane.
Huh? No, that's not what it was.
I saw your green bubble. I saw it first. Let me say, first I saw the green bubble.
Are you talking about my phone?
We all know what that means. I saw the green bubble.
Everybody knows
Then
Android's
I
better
saw
than Apple.
the little
Everybody
plane. Knows it. And I was like, what?
I flew on an Apple plane.
I was like, wait a minute.
I think it was
so
an
I'm
Apple
like,
plane.
I'm like a little, just a little. The drinks is flowing.
You said
the
that.
drinks is flowing.
Little.
So little, and I said, I got in the car and I was like, yeah, I'm not responding to the text. I got a call.
What if I needed? Oh, you called me. Okay.
What happened in El Centro?
So El Centro is Espanol. Tell me what that means.
The center.
No, you're just using your Latin.
The center. Come on.
That doctorate degree.
Am I right, Tommy? Thank you.
Anyway, I flew into El Centro.
And shout out to anybody
from El
that's
Centro
listening to us.
Shout out to you.
We got nothing but love for El Centro.
We should have led
I
with
just
that.
don't know where the hell you are at, but we got a lot of love for you, El Centro. We just don't know where you are.
Get into you, El Centro. The people there are real kind, though. They really are.
That's what's up.
But they gotta be, because to get there is a lot. Okay, so I did fly out of LAX.
Okay.
On an airline that I never.
Shout out LAX. We love LAX.
Shout out LAX. Love you. Okay.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Like them red eye flights.
Yo.
That's when people can come and pick you up and you good. The car service can come and get you.
It's the perfect time.
Now you fly in about 3, 4 in the afternoon.
It's gonna be a hot mess on a stick in a dumpster on fire.
Okay, so you flew out of LAX.
Flew out of LAX. I didn't know exactly which terminal because I'd never heard of this airline before. Right?
That's what you get though, because you booked it off of, we ain't gonna say the name.
No, but I booked it on third party.
Shout out, we know what airline we rock with. Shout out to that airline. We ain't gonna say it until they sponsor us. But
how they gonna sponsor us? We'll say.
I don't know, right?
We'll tell them. Next time we'll say
the
it.
letter of the alphabet, the fourth one.
People got
you know what it is. Go.
But I booked the airplane ticket. I don't know where the place is, but I Google, what terminal are you in? But I'm not positive, but I just started driving to LAX. My flight doesn't leave until 4:45.
You drove? I'm shocked you drove because, you introduced me to the
Don't say the world's best driver. I do have a driver.
Car service.
He's the best.
Tommy, she introduced me.
Sam.
She has her own private driver.
Sam. Shout out Sam.
Shout out Sam.
I don't even know what camera to look at. Sam.
All the cameras for Sam. Like Sam is the man.
Sam the man. So,
but Sam didn't take you?
No, because I booked this short notice.
Okay.
And I was running a little late. Unlike me. So unlike me. So
we're going to tell the truth on this podcast?
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Hey, words come back. We're going to tell the truth on this podcast?
Yes. Okay. So Sam couldn't take me. But I decided to drive to the airport. I'm only going to spend one night. Like, it's only a 1-day trip. I get there. This should have given me a hint. I'm starting to drive to the terminal or to LAX, and I get a text just to confirm that you're flying with us. Now, I thought this was a robot. I did. Tommy, I thought it was a robot. So I just put one word back. Yes. Because, robots don't understand a whole lot. No, he said, then the text comes through again to say, are you almost here? Well, that's not a robot, right? That's a person.
There ain't no chat GPT in this one.
No, are you almost here? Almost. Is this a person? That's what I text back. He says,
now you texted back.
Yes, and then he says, this is Ronaldo. Yes.
Oh, damn. Now
but I didn't say what airline. So Ronaldo's texting me.
Uh-huh.
Ronaldo's texting me. I'm like, I'm almost there. I got to park. He's like, okay, good, because we're waiting on you. Okay. I got an hour and a half.
What?
My flight doesn't leave till 4:45. It's 3:00. So I said, okay, I'll let you know when I'm parking. I park. I get there about 3:15, 3:20. I text him. I said, I'm here. And he's like, okay, if you got to check in an hour before the flight. I said, I know that, but I'm not checking the bag. Mm-hmm. And so he said, okay, you got to check in. So I park illegally, like I park at the curb, and then I run. Okay,
do all
I park legally at the curb. I run in, leave my car there, and I just run in. I figured, take it if you need to. No, I didn't say that, but
yeah.
I run in. I text him. I said, "There's nobody at the counter." Oh, by the way, he tells me, "Do you know where we are?" I shouldn't say where they are. They're in Terminal 6. Uh-huh. So I get there. I text him back. There's no one at the counter. He said, "I'll be down in a minute. I'm at the gate." Huh?
What? Like, is it?
Huh?
Okay. Wow.
So he comes down, checks me in. He said, "Now where are you gonna park?" I no, you gonna park the car for me? I said, over in the lot. So I go park the car. He said, okay, I'll meet you back at the gate. Okay. So I go through security. I get to the gate.
You on some PJ? Just tell me if you on some PJ
I'm
stuff.
not on the private.
Okay.
This
just
was
tell
not
me
a
if you on
private
some
jet.
PJ stuff,
Ronaldo
bro.
meets me at the gate. Ronaldo, he said, I'm glad. I said, Ronaldo, I'm the last one. He said, yeah. I look over. It's only 5 of us. So he said, we could leave early. Huh?
Okay.
Like this is what.
Like he was waiting on you. You the last.
So we could leave early. Okay. I walk out. Now you walk out the jetway and you're thinking, okay, the airplane. He said the plane is here. Now when I ain't seen no plane walking out the jetway, I was like, Ronaldo, I think you lied. He said, no, we gotta get to the plane. So
Ronaldo, like, I done guided your ass all this way now.
I called you. So
right. I'm
we
texting you.
all that.
Wait
Tell
for
you where to
park
park.
your car.
All of it. So we get out. When we walk out the jetway, it's only to get us to steps to walk down so he can put us in this little tram to take us where the airplane really is. So we drive around to the back of the airport. I'm looking around because I don't see no plane.
Oh, man.
He pulls up to this 12-seater. 12 seats include the pilots, by the way.
Oh, man.
A 12-seater with a propeller in the front. What airplane still has a propeller? Why am I getting... If I ain't never prayed in my life, that was the day.
I know you was calling
Father
on
God,
G
in the name
like
of Jesus, please forgive me for everything I've done. What are you telling me, Lord? What are you telling me right now? I prayed up and I got on. And I was tripping. Like Ronaldo drove us to the plane. Then I see the pilots. Why they look like they there on a field trip? They 12, 13 years old. They get on and climb right into the cockpit.
Not climb.
Climb right. Yeah. They climbed over. And there was no cockpit door. Like literally, we're looking at them fly the whole time. Man. So there's only 5 of us on the plane. It's 5 seats on each row, right? And then they trying to balance the plane out. Can you move over here?
Oh, I've been there on that.
Can
when
you
they do
move
that.
over there?
They want to
So we balance in the plane. And then I look in the back and I was like, why did he ask me if I want to check my bag? Because the difference between the check bag and the carry-on bag is a little fence, a little gate. So when I turn around, I can see everybody else's luggage behind the little gate. But mine, because I carried it on, I didn't really carry it on. They put it on there for me. Yeah. But because I was a carry-on, it's in front of the gate, but they had used a bungee strap to strap it to the gate. Why, Jesus? Why? So I got on.
I
got on. I went to El Centro.
The audience gonna learn so much more about you, but I'm really shocked
I did it.
that you went ahead and was like, yeah, I'm going to thug this one out.
I did it. Now, on the way back, what I did do was talk to my driver to say, how far is the drive from here to LA? Like, I just want to know for my own.
How long is the drive?
It's 4.5 hours. That's what he said. So I did get back on the plane to come on back, prayed up and everything, made sure I was nice to everybody. But it was an experience.
When you sent me a picture of that
experience
prop plane, I was like, where the hell is she going?
And the airport in El Centro is... And
I ain't never even heard of this airline.
Oh.
Don't say it. I ain't never even heard of it.
I really do think Ronaldo's people own the airline. I think that was his uncle's plane.
Wow.
And they have decided to change their career because... I think it was his joint. Like, everybody was related. Had to be. Ronaldo did everything except fly the plane. And those were his cousins. I'm positive those were his cousins that flew.
All I know was I was like, do I got to pull up to the center?
Yo.
Do I got to pull up to the center? This look a little shady. I'm going to pull up to the center. I don't know where the center. I don't know where the hell the center
of what?
is. I was just going to be like, guide me there. I'm going to have a Navi. Take me there. But hey, I'm getting to the center because I got to get my homie out of this.
Yeah, it was an experience. I won't do it again. I'm pretty positive. I'll drive, fly. People fly. So when I asked everybody else, how'd you get here? Because we both from LA. How'd you get here? Mm-hmm. Oh, I flew into Yuma, Arizona, and then I drove an hour.
Oh, it's an hour away from Yuma.
Yeah.
Okay.
So people had some sense,
so
right?
Where you flew into, what did it look like?
Oh, smaller than the studio. They had one person. They had a Ronaldo on the other side. So this dude, he got our luggage off the plane. He was the same one when we went back to check in. He checked us in. Now TSA, they don't play with TSA over down in El Centro. It was still 5 of us coming back, different 5, not the same 5.
Okay, wow.
Except me.
Brave souls. 5
of us going back, and they said, "Now we're getting ready to take you through a security check." I'm looking around like, where? Like, do we go to the bathroom or where are we gonna do a security check? But when they said TSA is coming out, they came out like 4 or 5 people strong, and they had their little metal detector, and we all walked through. Now the metal detector kept going off, so they had to open a door to make sure that it wasn't constantly going. I don't know. Listen, man. I felt like I was in a Peanuts script at the Snoopy house, but we went through. We got on the plane. And we came on back. But I can tell you right now, I'm flying into Yuma next time.
Yeah, I don't mind the drive. Into Yuma. I did.
Shout out to that little airline. Y'all doing it. Ronaldo's people. y'all doing it.
Ronaldo and his crew.
Yo, y'all doing got it. That no doubt this was a family-owned operation.
The plane,
the plane, the check-in, everything. The gate, the everything. Same pilots brought me back. How often does that happen?
Wow.
Ronaldo's cousins. That's why it happened. I'm telling you.
I'm really glad you're back.
Me too.
I'm really glad you made it in.
God wanted me to get here, but I had to get there.
I had
to get there. It was for work. It was to do what we were going to do.
That's it. That's it. You a trooper for that. Shout out. You a trooper for that. Welcome to Skoolturf. We in episode
4.
004.
004.
We 4 episodes in. Can you believe that?
Oh, it's been nice.
Great.
It's so
4
nice.
episodes in. All right. We just, y'all along for the ride with us. So welcome to Skoolturf.
Welcome.
Now, of course, Vernita, I need you to just relax, relate, release all that happened in the center. So talk to us and tell me what's going on out here in the world of teacher land, school land, all of the above, man. School district land, all of it. What's going on? What's going on?
We're going to talk a little bit about Houston. You know what they're doing out in Houston?
Houston. Shout out Houston. We love Houston.
We love Houston. You shout out everybody we mentioned. I love it.
I love Houston. Yeah. Shout out Houston.
I don't know if I've been to Houston. But
have you been to Houston? Yeah.
Not on purpose.
You got to go.
Not on purpose. But in Houston.
You said not on purpose. I caught that.
You got that?
Uh-huh.
In Houston, they are changing the way teachers are going to be paid.
Oh, no, wait.
Think about it.
Hold on.
Let me let it sit for
a second. They're going to pay them more?
While I log in.
They're going to pay them more? Because I'm a huge advocate for teachers getting that money. Because right now, teachers aren't getting the money that they deserve and that they need in order to really, truly survive. So talk about it. What's happening? I'm real curious to know what's happening
in Houston?
In H-Town.
Okay. Oh, H-Town. Oh, you real familiar. Okay. So in H-Town or Houston, teachers are being paid. They will become paid by merit pay.
Oh, no, I don't like
KiMi, break that down to our audience.
I don't like when I hear the word merit.
Break it down.
I don't like it. That means you just telling me. I'm just thinking, and I'm shooting in the dark here, but I'm just thinking somehow we're tying kids' performance to teacher pay.
Yes.
Is that what we're talking about?
Absolutely. So let me read this article. I'm going to have 2 articles, one from City Journal and one from Houston Announces. And so
you got 2. It's big enough. You got 2 articles.
In early April, the Houston Independent School District announced the details of its merit pay system.
I don't like where this is going.
Which will launch during the 26-27 school year. With this new program, Houston will become one of the few districts in the nation fully to tie teachers' salaries to performance.
I don't like that.
Rather than simply adding incentives or bonuses to a standard seniority-based pay structure, which we know. And so, with this system, KiMi, I'm going to break it down because I see it here. I'll tell you what percent, like the percent of teachers, how they're going to be paid. So teachers will earn this pay, their
based
pay.
Based on what categories? Based on what?
Based on how students perform And so quality, students' academic outcomes, which is how students perform.
Okay, the outcomes, yeah.
And that's 35% of the score of how a
Okay.
teacher will be paid.
That's a nice
Quality
percentage.
of instruction,
Okay.
that's 45%. Now, how they gonna know that?
Yeah, because that shit's subjective.
Right. Somebody got to go look at you and say, oh, that's
And
quality.
you know, in society, we don't have
We don't have an objective.
an equitable playing
Oh,
field.
you're so nice. That's a nice way to say it.
Okay.
Good way to say it. All right. That's 45%.
Okay.
Oh,
that's big.
That's big.
So what a principal or an administrator says about you is about
matters. How about that?
Okay.
Okay. Planning and professionalism is 15% of your score.
Okay.
And then
what the professionalism means.
The way you dress, who knows?
Is it dress?
I don't know. Planning and professionalism.
What associations you're a part of?
Am I submitting lesson plans? Maybe maybe that. Yeah. And then finally, the last 5%, you're going to flip. I already could tell.
What is it?
The last 5% of your score is based on a campus action plan, which means school-wide performance.
So you mean to tell me that I could be killing the game in teaching?
Absolutely.
And if I'm at a shitty
school,
a school where everybody ain't handling their business, now I'm screwed.
Look at you, picking it up. You picking up what I put down. That's true. That's what they say. Yes.
Wow.
All of that. So subjective.
How do you feel about this, Vernita?
I think
your initial reaction, man.
It's bad. It's bad. It's bad for.
Let me ask this question.
Okay.
Because I just got to hear what you are thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Do you even believe in merit pay system?
I only if it's in a bonus reward system. I don't believe that teachers your entire salary should be based on merit pay. I don't believe there's too many variables, inequitable variables and I know you know, because we've talked about this before. Mm-hmm. There's too many things that contribute to the inequities that you couldn't possibly say, I'm going to pay you over here in this town and you over there in that town, right? Even if we're part of the same district, I'm going to pay you based on how your students perform, and they have to perform at these levels for me to give you this amount of money.
You know, Vernita, here's where I got a big ass problem with now.
Tell me.
This merit. You and I both know all schools are not equal.
No.
Okay? And I'm going to just start with, we want to talk about merit pay. We want to talk about teachers. Let's dig into it.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you have your different tier of teacher, whether they're first year, early career teacher, mid-year career teacher, vet, right? Those are usually pretty much the levers, right? Now you think about what school are they in? Are they in an affluent neighborhood where kids have access to certain things?
Right.
Are they in a low-income school where kids don't have those access to certain things and extracurricular activities?
Right.
How does that measure up? How does that measure up if I'm at school A, where I got to bring kids up as a teacher? I got teachers who failed these kids for multiple years. So I'm a 5th grade teacher. Now I got kids coming to me at a kinder level or a 1st grade level. Now my pay is tied to bringing them up to doing the job of all those other teachers that failed them.
Yeah.
And I'm being compared with someone else across town who may not have that same hurdle.
True. Yes.
Help me. And don't get me started about all the historical inequities that are in education. How are we thinking about this merit pay crap?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I think for people, it sounds great. And the catchphrase is that
how.
I don't know, but it's going to catch me. Yeah, because our kids aren't performing well, and this is going to help kids perform well. That's what people will tell you. My question is how, when you got all those different variables that I am talking about, And right now, I'm just starting with the teachers alone. And now let's dig into the teachers. You know me, when I first started teaching, I realized that I wanted more for my kids. I hopped my ass in grad school.
Yep.
So I could develop the pedagogical thinking, framing, knowledge, all that, so I could help my kids kill the game.
Yeah. Yeah.
That wasn't everybody at my school.
No.
There were some with Teach for America, and they were like, I'm only going to be here for a few years, dog. So I can get to this, I can get to law school, med school, I'm out.
Right.
What does this look like?
Yeah.
Because you are now, I got Vernita across town. She got a master's degree. She got a doctorate degree. By design, her kids are going to get more. Not because she's a better teacher, because she's had more experience. She's been through stuff. I can tell you what, when I got in grad school, day one, they were showing me, I was looking like, man, this what I could do with my kids? And I was going right that next day, learning it one day, and going in the morning, I'm going to try this shit out on my kids. And my kids was loving it, eating it up. Now, I'm going to be compared with someone who may just be starting out and can't afford grad school yet.
Right. And doesn't know as much.
Doesn't know as much, but they have a heart for my kids.
Right.
And they want to do right by our kids.
Right. And might not get it right the first time.
How do we help me, Vernita, help me see it. How are people, and then now you're talking about teacher evaluations?
Yeah, I can't help you.
Do you know how many times I was written up because I wasn't following scripted curriculum?
I can't.
Because I was going to a graduate program that told me, here are the standards, here's how you build lessons. So when I was given a scripted curriculum where leadership was like, here's what you say, here's what you do. You teach your kids ELA for 3 hours, and then they do math for 3 hours, and then that's your day. So you mean to tell me I had to negate science? You mean to tell me I had to negate visual and performing arts? Those are areas that can reach certain kids.
Right.
Now you're telling me I can't even teach those? So yes, you're writing me up, because when you come in my classroom, you told me to do English language arts. I did that for an hour and we're done.
We're done.
We're moving on. But in that hour, I've done a reader's theater. I had a literature circle. I'm killing the game.
Yeah.
What are you telling me about merit? What are you telling me about merit?
Yeah. I don't know. And I can't fix it. But you're right. And they're breaking this news.
I'm so annoyed right now.
I could tell. You shouting.
Merit.
You look upset. It's true. It's true. And for this pay, I know it's going to start in 26, 27, but this upcoming school year will be the determining factor of what you get paid during the merit pay year. So in this 26, 27 school year, 24, 25, 25, 26, right? We're in 24, 25 now. We're in the 24, 25 year. When 25, 26 starts this fall, what you do in this 25, 26 school year will determine your pay rate for the following year. And like you said, in this 25, 26 school year, you have new teachers starting out. You got veteran teachers. You got teachers in different communities that where students are already starting behind. And nowhere here does it say we're monitoring, where it says student performance. And it didn't get into any detail, right? So it doesn't talk about whether you're talking about student growth or student proficiency, because those are two different things, right? Students that are moving deserve to be acknowledged, and that should be celebrated, right? But if you're looking just at state assessments, end of the year assessments, if you're just looking at, I guess they wouldn't use grades, because I can tell you right now, if I was merit pay, everybody get an A in my class for merit pay. If I got,
you see what I'm saying?
Everybody be passing.
And we gonna start teaching to the test.
Oh yeah, right. Instead of being
to
creative,
the test is about to be crazy into that.
So
that watch,
there's not going to be any. But let me read you this. We could do that if we all had the same grand scale and the grand idea. Students in the end, they lose. One, they lose the creativity that teachers bring to the classroom for just good learning. You and I both, we're activity based teachers. You and I both believe in conceptual understanding, and that will lead to fluency, proficiency.
All the time.
And we get into, we don't mind spending 20 minutes on one problem, because by the time students finished with that problem, with that question, you know all the applications, you know all the ins and outs. You can explain it and teach it to me, which you and I both know are clues for true standards mastery. But everybody, even if they have the same idea, like you just said, oh, we're just going to teach to the test. I'm going to give my students high grades, and when people come in to observe me, they're going to see this happening. Even if everybody did that, you still are broken into a percentage of who's going to get what pay. Let me read this to you.
You gotta be.
The categories for performance, after thorough review, teachers will be placed into a proficiency category based on their performance. Okay. These categories and their corresponding salary ranges are as follows. 3% of teachers will be classified in the unsatisfactory evaluation level, facing likely termination with a salary of 64%. Here's my question, KiMi.
How much is the salary?
$64,000.
What?
Yeah, I don't know how you live.
And I know, because I'm sure. I guess the average wage in Houston got to be like in the 80. I want to say probably 81, right. 82, 83.
Right.
Somewhere around there.
Rent is about $1,200.
So I'm already not making no money to live.
No.
I'm already not making
or
enough
paycheck
money.
to paycheck. That's what we're doing. But here's my question for you, KiMi, because
we want to go to merit pay instead of talking about giving teachers to pay their worth. But come on, keep going. Come on. Yeah, that's a whole. Come on.
So there's an argument in here. We didn't read it, that part, but there's an argument that this merit pay will bring in qualified educators.
How, when the pay is terrible?
Oh, that I don't know. They wrote it. I didn't write this. This is bad. But here's my question, KiMi, because you and I are both math people. I know in our last episode, we talked about wasting time. The math ain't mathing. Mm-hmm. How are they already acknowledging that 3% of the teachers will be in this category?
They know what's up. They know what's up. Is this designed to get rid of folks? Because, I mean, if that's what it is, just say it. Just say it.
Absolutely.
Just say we want to get rid of some teachers.
Because you don't know how many are going to fall. What if everybody's amazing? What if everybody's terrible?
They know that that's not going to happen.
But you don't know that it's 3% is very specific.
You know how I know? Because if I'm at a school where I'm raising kids up, you know, you and I have been there. Kids in 3rd grade, but they come to you on the kinder level. You've worked so hard with them, you got them to the 2nd grade level.
Still behind grade level, but they've grown 2 years, 3 years with me. Yeah, in 1 year. Now,
is that going to be reflective under the student outcome section?
They didn't describe it. I don't know. All right, but they're already saying that 3% of the teachers are going to fall into this bottom category and face termination. Here we go. 12%, they hit this one on the nose too. These are pretty. They're not taking like 5 to 10. They're not even giving ranges here. 12% will be placed in the progressive 1 evaluation level, earning $70,000. So you're a progressing teacher.
Still ain't no money though.
But you get $70,000 and you won't face termination. That's the thing. 25% will be categorized in the progressing 2 level, earning $74,000. So I get $4,000 more. Yay me. Now, here's a big chunk. This is where the bell curve, this is where they're expecting to have the biggest percent. 40% will fall into the proficient 1 evaluation level, earning $80,000. That's about the average of what folks earning in Houston. So that's the big, the bell curve. That's the.
And you said what level that was
point.
Again? That's
proficient 1.
Oh, proficient 1. Okay.
Proficient 1 evaluation level is 80%. Is $80,000.
Okay.
12% will be placed in a proficient 2 evaluation level, earning $86,000. 5% will be grouped in the exemplary 1 evaluation level.
And they already know who those people are.
Right. How do you know?
They already know who those folks are.
Okay, but it's 5%. They're going to earn $92,000. And then finally, now the top 3%, they will be in the exemplary.
They better be pulling in 6 figures.
2 evaluation level. They earn 92 to 96. It's only $4,000 jumps here. That's what we're doing. $4,000.
I don't want to talk about no merit pay until we raise the pay of teachers. How about that?
Talk to Texas.
And run me those categories again, because you said
unsatisfactory, progressive.
No, not that. The categories that they're going to be judged on. You said it was student outcomes.
Yes.
You said it was...
The biggest one is quality of instruction.
Let's talk about that. And I might ruffle some feathers in here.
Oh, gosh. When he puts his hands up, they're up.
Tommy, we might get knocked out.
When he does this, Tommy, is...
We might get knocked out.
Do you have
be canceled.
Bleeping feature? Bleeping.
Season 1 and done. Season 1 and done.
We are canceled. Okay.
You and I both know that we've had administrators who don't know what good math instruction looks like.
Oh, absolutely.
Dare I say it?
You said it.
Dare I say it?
You said it.
Dare I say it?
They don't know math.
So now let's bring that back.
Or instruction.
Let's bring that back. My salary is now based on your incompetency?
Or how much it's based on how much you like me. I've had evaluations, KiMi. I've shared this with you. I've had evaluations at the school that I love when I first started. And I remember my AP calling me down for an evaluation. And he let me glance it before I signed it. And I had to call to his attention, hey, in some parts of your narrative, you refer to me as a he. And he's like, I'm sorry, I just cut and pasted. You're admitting to me that you just copied and pasted somebody else's evaluation to mine. And then you followed up by saying, I know you're doing a good job up there. How do you know? You never observed me. And you're copying and pasting somebody's.
Damn.
You're just leaning on the fact that my children
Not copy and paste.
Copied it.
He couldn't even get the she.
Unless you don't understand me, you put he. So that wasn't even genuine. You copied and then you admitted. You copied and pasted somebody else's evaluation.
That's lazy shit right there.
Put it in mine.
That's lazy shit.
And didn't even go to proofread it.
That's lazy shit.
And then you thought you were doing me a solid by saying, I know you're a good teacher. How do you know? You never observed me. Yeah. So what you're saying is, I know you're a good teacher because, your kids are good. They're not running out. They're not the ones that are in the hallway, right? But they are. They're just not in the hallway during my class period. Because those are the same kids. We teach the same children, same community. But you just think I'm good because that's what you heard from the kids. They're not going, but you don't know what I'm doing. I could have bribed all of them and said, listen, we don't do any work if you just sit down and be quiet. And guess what kids are going to do? At least high school kids, that's where I was. They're going to sit down and be quiet because they don't want to do any work. You don't know what kind of quality. And the fact that my evaluation reflected something that you never saw. That you never saw.
And now just imagine if your pay was tied to that.
It's based on how much you like me, what you've heard, what you feel. The other category is student outcomes. That's the next biggest one.
What does that mean?
It has to be standardized assessments.
Yeah.
Or district quarterly assessments, benchmarks that the district may give. They didn't lay it out in here, but it needs to be some standardized measurement. It should not in any way be based on grades only. If at all.
When you talked about your experience being evaluated, that harkened me to a more recent experience. Everybody that's in the university land or academia knows about, RTP, retention, tenure, and promotion.
Okay.
And so I had a similar experience like you did. At my university, we have to collect everything we've done, student evaluations, conferences we've presented at, papers that we've written, and really put it together and really make our claim, to why we should have tenure at said university. So that's the whole point of it all. And so my very first evaluation, I worked my ass off.
Okay.
And you got to put together your file and the whole thing. It's a daunting task.
Tedious,
I don't really like it, but you do it, right?
You.
Tedious, it's literally like a file box, mine was, before they went digital. And I remember the person that was evaluating me didn't look at my file for shit and rated me incorrectly. But me serving, you know me, I didn't say shit. Boy. I read the evaluation. I was like, okay, cool. I know, yeah, cool, because I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do.
You write
and so there was I was a part of academic senate.
Oh gosh.
So I know policy. So you write your rebuttal letter and you send it to your dean of your college.
You wrote a letter. Okay.
I wrote a letter.
I know you did. To who?
The dean.
Okay.
And you're absolutely right. I'm changing everything. A few things. So that's why when you said that, quality of instruction, that's what it's called?
Yeah, quality of instruction, 45% of your score.
Particularly, and let's put it, let's say what it is, Vernita, Black folk. This could be very harmful,
right,
for us. And y'all know what I mean when I say that. Black teachers, brown teachers, my indigenous teachers, this kind of shit can really fuck them up.
Right.
And so I want to be very careful when we start having these conversations about merit-based pay and all of this. We don't live in a world that's equal.
No.
Hey,
we just don't.
I know we in a time where we dismantling DEI, and people don't want to say the word equity and all of this bullshit.
But it means something.
Racism is real.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so to tie someone's livelihood based on someone else's biases, presuppositions. I mean, it could be very retaliatory. I don't want this person at my school, and I'm gonna write them. I'm gonna give them a shitty ass evaluation, have quality instruction, so they don't ever come.
Ever.
These are the things that I think, and I push and I challenge board members everywhere. Really, when you start talking about merit-based pay crap, have conversations with your educator.
I agree.
Have serious conversations with your educators, particularly your ones from underrepresented population. I'm going to just call it what it is. Talk to your black male teachers. We got a story. Talk to us. Right? And so when they start talking these kinds of policies, my biggest question becomes, have they really engaged teachers in these conversations? So teachers could tell them all, and you saw it, you said it when you read it, all the different variables this leads to. Do y'all really know what's going on in the world of education? Or better yet, do you care?
They couldn't.
Merit-based pay is so asinine to me because we got so many other things that we got to fix in education first to even make that possible. To even have a merit-based conversation.
Yeah.
This is not a level playing field. Forget about it. And don't even get me started on. We start pushing our black boys, our brown boys out, so they don't even want to become no damn teacher.
I just saw how they're going to ease this into.
Oh, don't ease me. Ease me in.
Let me show you.
How are we easing
it? It says, additionally, several safeguards have been put into place for teachers, and it's in quotes, hold harmless policy ensures that no teacher will earn less than their current base salary through the 29-30 school year. So only because remember, this is going for 26-27. So you're safe. You got 3 years to get it together before you dropping at the bottom 3%.
How are they giving me? Giving me provisions and telling me how they're gonna do that?
Yes. Now here's another thing. Another policy guarantees that teachers can only move up or down. Now this is, you want me to go on this merit pay. It guarantees that you can only move up or down one level at a time. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
So you don't want me to get better too quickly.
Nah, you really don't.
Don't get better
too fast. You don't want me to get better.
And even if you do, I'm only giving you credit for one level. Even if you go from progressing to exemplary, Yeah, because I went to learn, because like you, what'd you do? Hop yourself right into grad
Right
school?
into grad school.
Learn some stuff and brought it back.
Yep.
That's too fast. So we're going to move you one level at a time. One level at a time. Special education teachers
Oh, what
will
they doing
operate
in my
under a
teachers?
separate system. It don't say nothing else. It just says they'll operate under a separate system with their salaries set at around $90,000. So they're set.
Are we going to address the fact that there are so many kids that don't even need to be in special ed? And also how a lot of the SPED techniques that are used should be also used in general ed? We're going to talk about that?
No, we're not going to talk about that, because this whole thing is ridiculous. This whole thing makes absolutely no sense. This is not going to bring in more qualified teachers.
Absolutely not. It's actually going to run people away from the
Right.
profession.
You want qualified teachers? Pay teachers what they're worth.
That's what it is.
Pay them what they're worth. Train them in what you and how to be better educators. Prepare them effectively when they're leaving those teacher education program classes. And Texas has one of the most stringent retention policies I know for students. I don't know at what grade level they begin retaining students. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I know it's more rigorous than California.
Absolutely, because
we do social promotion until
and we've been looking deeply into those their Texas state standards, and they are learning concepts in earlier grades when we compared it to our LA standards,
right? Yes. And so even considering those things, this is not going to bring qualified teachers, quality teachers. What this is going to do is push people, because I have a math degree, you have several degrees. We don't have to be teachers. In fact, the first profession that approached me was not, it was our government.
Oh yeah, talk about that. That's talk about how you even got into teaching.
Even before, just civil service, law enforcement. When I remember being at finishing my last years at a university here, and in that last year, I remember being propositioned. Someone came and spoke to our class, our graduating class, and was talking about, if you're a math major, you have a math degree, you can go into this field. And it was Secret Service, right? It was programming, all of those digital, they wanted our mind. We don't have to be teachers. Teaching wasn't your first. What was your first profession, KiMi?
Listen, the very first profession, I won't say the name unless they give us some sponsorship, but
they don't know.
I work for a big corporation.
Yes.
It's probably in damn near every household.
Absolutely.
And company car, amazing salary, fresh out of college. I'm doing well. I'm doing good for myself. This is great.
Yeah.
I mastered the job within a couple of months.
Yeah.
So during the job, I started meeting up with homies and like, y'all want to go grab some food?
Right.
Y'all want to go grab some food? Y'all want to go shopping?
Yeah.
Y'all want to what? What we doing?
On company time.
Like, what we doing?
Right.
I'm glad. So I'm glad I'm so far removed from it now. But yeah.
Yeah.
So I realized that I looked up one day and just was like, this is cool and all, but I'm kind of like wasting my time.
What am I doing?
What the hell am I doing? And I remember having dinner with one of my mentors. Shout out Dr. Davis. Rest in peace. That was one of my undergraduate professors. But that brother just took me under his wings and just made so much happen for me. And I love him. His wife, they were always just so beautiful and kind to me. Like I got to hang over at my professor's house. Like I was like, yeah, I'm going to eat dinner with my professor, hang out. He was just a loving, great spirit. And so Dr. D's like, yo, KiMi, what you doing? What you doing? I told him, and he was just, I remember we eating dinner, and he just stopped. You know how you had those scenes where a person like eating and then they drop the fork? Like,
yeah.
He dropped the fork and he was like, why are you in corporate? He said, I always saw you working with kids. You were always tutoring kids, helping kids when you were undergrad, like volunteering for the community. You were always doing stuff. He was like, I saw you in education. And when he said that, I was like, maybe there's something to this. And immediately went, I took a leave from my job, like studied looked up all the exams that I needed to take in order to become a teacher, and did everything. And I ended up landing in a second grade classroom. Best decision ever. Now, I really thought, I was like, yo, I ain't gonna make this shit, because first day one, like I remember, I set my classroom up like a beach. I was like, oh, the beach. I was like, I'm gonna have my kids come in, they're gonna experience the beach. I brought in sand and beach balls and like water. I was like, oh, when these second graders come in, they're gonna be like, this shit is lit. Like, that's how I wanted my kids to be.
I love it.
Those kids walked into that classroom and literally looked around and was like, what is this?
What are we doing?
And at that moment, I realized none of those kids had ever been to a beach. So now I got to juxtapose that with my own life. Second grade, I done already like been to Hawaii, ran the sands of Hawaii.
Of course you did.
Like I have like lived. At second grade, like I've lived.
We're going to have to talk about this.
No, let's keep going with this story.
Some point.
But it broke my heart.
Yeah.
That I got second grade kids who've never left their neighborhood, their block.
Yeah.
And so immediately I was just like, I remember I got in the car, called my girlfriend, I was crying, I was like, and then that day, like I found out I found out like half of my class, they couldn't read. They were below grade level. I was just frustrated at the whole thing. I got in the car, called my girlfriend at the time, and I was like, yeah, I can't do this. And I remember second call I made, my mom crying, Mom, I can't do this. Like, when I was in second grade, I was reading like crazy. You know, you, my mom, my grandpa, my grandma, y'all all taught me how to read. I was reading with my aunt, my uncle. So by the time I went into preschool, like I was reading like crazy, having this whole conversation. I'm like, these kids are in second grade, they can't. And I remember my mom literally heard me say all that shit. And at the end of me saying all that shit, she said, fix it.
That's it. 2 words.
My mom said, fix it. And from that day on, every classroom that I stepped foot in,
fix it.
My goal was to fucking fix it. No matter what level they came to me on. Fix it.
Yeah.
And so I had to learn. I had to learn those kids. I had to learn that community. I had to learn how to be not a teacher. I had to learn how to be a facilitator.
That's right.
And I had to learn from my kids. I had to learn from that community. I had to now really unpack. Here's something that many teachers don't do. I had to unpack who KiMi was. So I got to strip away the fact that KiMi grew up in a super loving family. I had to strip away from the fact that KiMi was driven to school every day. When I got second grade kids, not only walking to school, but bringing their younger siblings to school. And then also when they get home, ain't nobody at home with them. So KiMi's land and KiMi's world had to be completely disrupted and upended. Because if I took that shit into the classroom, I'm going to miss the kids that are in front of me.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was, Vernita. I didn't know what that looked like. I thought I was walking in like, okay, cool. Y'all look like me. We all had the same experiences. And at that very moment, I noticed we didn't.
We did. Yeah.
I didn't know what it was like to go home and nobody's there. I don't know what that shit looks like, Vernita. Latchkey what? I've never had that experience. Parents not showing up to parent-teacher conference. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah.
I told my mom I'm having something at school. Boom, she was there.
You signed her up.
And I signed her up.
Yeah.
And my uncle's there with his camera recording everything. So you go to my uncle's house right now, he got footage of me all the way up through my entire life. Every time KiMi did something, little KiMi did something, Every member of my family was there.
Yeah.
So when I was doing stuff for my kids and they didn't have nobody showing up for them, that shit crushed me.
Yeah.
I didn't know what the hell that looked like.
Yeah.
But those words my mom always said to me, fix it. I fought hard. Every classroom that I stepped foot in, every kid that I taught, I fought hard for them.
Yeah.
Oftentimes when I talk to teachers, you're not careful, you start comparing what you experience and you start passing that shit on to kids. Because I'll talk to teachers and they'll be like, well, of course blacks don't do math. I didn't see, when I was in my AP math classes, there was only one black kid. So when I'm a teacher, I don't really expect my black kids to do well. Or when I was in my AP class, there was only a one Latinx kid. So I don't expect my brown kid. This is the shit people bring into the classroom.
I agree.
Oh, and all of my math classes, majority of the people were Asian. Am I lying? People say that shit. And people don't understand when you are a teacher and then you bring that same shit to the classroom, you're imposing that same shit on your fucking kids.
Yeah.
And that's how we keep this shit going.
Yeah. Yeah. And the greatness that you brought to the classroom, KiMi, the fix it mentality, the hard work that you did, that you and I both did, right? And other great educators had nothing to do with the pay.
Absolutely.
That is and it's not that we didn't get paid well. We got paid nicely, right?
After we started getting the trainings and the advanced degrees, then that's when the money started coming in. But even then, it was still
nowhere near what we deserve. No, not even close to what we deserve. But it still had nothing to do with the money, which is the meaning behind why that statement of merit pay will bring in quality educators doesn't make sense.
Not at all.
Quality educators don't care about the money.
No, they doing this hard work.
They coming in to do this hard work. HEART work. And it's hard work. But it's hard work first. And so when they come in and they're doing this, they not worried, merit, no merit. They're not worried about that. Merit pay is just not right now in this environment that we live in this world that we live in. It's not right. But quality educators give 2 cents about that. They don't care about the pay. They're not getting into it because of the pay. They're not getting into it because of the vacation time. Not quality educators. Some people do. And you know them right away.
You know them right away.
It don't take long.
Because you got to get to that. You got to get to that.
The phase.
Them summer months. There's a whole academic calendar.
10 months in between. And people that know good teaching. Now, I wouldn't be as worried if that quality instruction came from somebody that knew quality. You and I could walk in the classroom. It does not take long for us to recognize whether learning is happening or not. It doesn't take long. At all. Because we know education, we know how children learn. And it doesn't even matter the subject matter. We're both mathematicians, but I can walk into an ELA class and tell you if students are learning or not. I can walk into an elementary class and tell you if students are learning or not. Because learning comes from good teaching.
Absolutely.
In fact, kids aren't learning. You're not teaching if kids aren't learning.
Absolutely.
I say that every time, and I say it for every time.
Yeah.
Right? And so this idea of who is going to answer the call to teaching, at least in this Houston arena, it's not going to be who they think it is.
Nah.
It's not.
It's not. And like you said, the biggest thing about being a phenomenal teacher, right? That exemplar or whatever they want to
exemplary stage 3, whatever.
You know, that's what we were. But I'm going to tell you, you and I both came out of our pocket.
Yes.
We bought stuff.
Many times.
We bought stuff for our students' families. We bought stuff for our students. This is the shit that's not talked about.
No.
And so I don't want to hear shit about merit pay. What I do want to hear about is increasing pay for teachers that are doing phenomenal hard work with children.
Right.
And making a tremendous difference. Because this merit pay shit, that's not where it's at.
It don't capture everything we did. We were everything. We weren't just teachers.
Man, listen.
What were we? Were teachers, brothers, sisters, mama,
Psychologist,
daddy,
social
priest.
worker. Right.
We were
Pastor.
pastor.
Yeah.
We were everything
Absolutely.
that our children needed. Mm-hmm. And some folks would be like, that's too much. They don't pay me for that. You're right, they don't. Mm-hmm. They didn't pay me for it.
But it had to get done. Could get some more. We could recoup a lot of money if they paid us. If you just wanted, we did.
But we had to do it because we needed those children to learn from us, so they could be ready to compete.
Absolutely.
And ready for higher education.
Absolutely. And so if you own some hard work and not merit pay, hit up Skoolturf. Y'all make some noise for Skoolturf. Yeah. We offer professional learning communities that is centered around Vernita and I's experience in doing this tremendous hard work. We prepare educators to not only do amazing work with their kids, but to know the content, to teach it from a conceptual understanding framework, and to really dig in and fix it for your children. So I'm going to tell you right now, stop what you're doing. Click on equationstosuccess.com. Look at our Skoolturf Learning Lab. You'll find all things Skoolturf, and know that call us up, hit us up, and you'll get a chance to interact and be with us and make your school and teaching and learning fantastic. Vernita, that was a loaded one.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. Thank you for bringing that to my attention about this merit-based pay, because I know you and I are on a crusade to make sure teachers get paid what they deserve.
We on a crusade to fix it. Your mama said.
Man, fix it.
Fix it.
And if you want to continue to fix it, continue to tune in.
Skoolturf,
the podcast. We got the lovely Vernita right here, my co-host, and I'm your host, KiMi. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.